Bushnell, performance is the only thing. Savage Arms, better comes standard. Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here again at Bushnell's Trigger Effect. This week we've got a super fun hunt planned for you.
No, that's right, Kent. We're actually in your backyard where you grew up as a kid, and we're going to be going after gophers.
You bet. I mean, Savage provided us with the A17 17 HMR rimfire, tailored design for gopher shooting. So let's load up our gear and let's get out in the pastures.
I know for you growing up in the prairies and me growing up in the mountains, I mean, my first animals that I got to pick up a gun and hunt was with a little Cooey 22 single action grouse. I mean, that's what we did. But you guys did something very different here in the prairies.
Yeah, we hunted ground squirrels, or commonly known here in the prairies as gophers. But we all started off with our small bore rimfires. And this episode is going to be kind of a return to our childhood. It's going to be fun. We don't have to wear camo. We don't have to be quiet. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've been looking forward to this one for a long time.
I have, and I mean, I think the only fairness though that we have to talk about here, Kent, is I'm out here hunting your traditional startup with ground squirrels, but you're gonna have to come to BC and do some grouse.
I'm sure I will.
Well, let's put some down the range.
You bet.
Well, Kent, I'm really happy with my last adjustments. I mean, I literally, you know that game at the carnival where you got to get rid of all the red?
Yeah.
Well, I just got rid of all the center. So
that's awesome. I mean, no, they're dialed right in. I think we're going to head out today. We're going to load up this stuff, head to our first pasture. I've got a lot of landowners around here that have a real problem with ground squirrels or gophers in their pastures. So beautiful day for it. Let's get things loaded up, head out to our first spot. Don't have to convince you.
Yeah, there's no convincing here. I'm excited to get out.
Yeah, we're gonna grab some Rem oil just because we're probably gonna go through a brick of ammo today. So
Yeah.
we want to keep these things sliding good. So
Perfect.
let's get things loaded. See them all up there?
Oh, crow. You know, it's funny, Ken, like, I'm not born and raised in the prairies, but when you tell me that there's a lot of ground squirrels and how they can cause damage for cattle and stuff like that, well, I can see why.
Oh yeah, the whole hillside's moving with them, so I think this is a good spot to set up.
So for the cattle, what is the danger with the ground squirrels?
Well, I mean, you know, they can step in the holes, they can break an ankle, twist an ankle, and I mean, a lot of these purebred herds are worth a lot of money, these animals. I mean, we're right now in a bull pen. We've got some bulls behind us over here, and I mean, they're very, very expensive breeding bulls, and you lose one of those bulls, that's thousands of dollars to these landowners. So.
Okay, let me get this clear. You said this is a bull pen.
It's a bullpen. Yeah, there's probably a dozen bulls over here. So if you see me running, run.
That was my next question. But anyways, well, let's get set up then.
All right, sounds good. Yeah.
To say I'm excited is an understatement of the year.
I see some gophers are starting to pop up. One thing is when we move in with all the cameras and all the equipment, they kind of go down. But I see they're starting to pop up here, so.
You might have to take that one, Kent. You might be too far to the right for me.
You want this?
Oh, there, unless I do a cockeyed shot. Are you on them?
I'm on him. Good shot,
There
buddy.
we go.
Oh, there he is. He's standing up
there.
here now.
Okay, I'm recording.
Okay.
Oh!
There, he's
Oh,
standing
there.
up now.
Perfect. Oh!
Got him.
I would say you got him. Yeah.
I don't know if it's legal to bait or not.
Well, I don't know. I think the only thing that the peanuts are baiting is us.
We're good peanuts.
They are good peanuts.
This segment is brought to you by Safari Club International Canada. First for hunters.
There, I see them.
Yeah. There you go. Nice shot, buddy. Stoned him.
That'll lights out.
It took a little while. That was a hunt.
Yeah.
That was a hunt, that one.
Well, I couldn't actually get. Oh, we got one like right here in
I
front of us.
just saw him flicking his tail. These peanuts are too good to stop eating them.
He did some acrobatics.
Yeah, he certainly did.
That was good.
I'd say that's a dead gopher.
That's a dead gopher.
I wanted to sit down, but I didn't want to bump the table because I knew you were lining up on a good job, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Didn't want to shake the table on. He was kind of to my extreme right. Like
Yeah.
if he was a foot over, I wouldn't have been able to get him without rotating the table. But he's down.
Well, what do you think there, buddy? Do you think we should maybe hook on to the truck and move to a new spot?
No, I agree. We've popped probably a dozen and a half here, and
Yeah.
let's pack up. Besides, we got a pretty good group of bulls that are interested in what we're doing.
Yeah. The bulls have now decided to come back over the hill
Yeah.
and see what we're up to, so.
Well, that sounds good. Let's safety of the guns and head out of here.
Yeah, we'll unload and get packed up.
Perfect.
Well, we've moved to a different part of the pasture. We like to keep a hillside as our backdrop. It just makes it a lot safer for when you're shooting. Out here in the prairies, you can, it's tough to find hills in some spots, so. But this is still that same bullpen that we were in earlier. The bulls were over on this side. They've now moved over to where we were shooting earlier, and so we've come in here to thin out a few of the gophers here, so. Who's gonna shoot that one on that gopher on that dirt pile? You go first. If you miss, I'll take them out.
No pressure. Oh,
Nice shot, buddy.
I would say that was not a miss.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah. Nice shot. I would say that was a hit.
When these little 17s hit, they go thump.
Oh yeah, it's not hard to tell that you hit them. I mean, the sound is very distinct.
Just thump.
Thump, thump. Oh. Good job, bud. That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one. And you actually...
I put the casing in the back of the truck.
back of the truck.
I can hear it rattle in the back of the box.
You're environmentally conscious.
Yeah, I don't want to leave my casings in. That's awesome.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you know, we've been sitting here for a while. We kind of slowed up a little bit. That was a lot of fun today.
It was a lot of fun today. I really enjoyed that.
I think we'll wrap this up. I mean, it's kind of slowed down a little bit for us.
Yeah.
Midday is usually the best time. We're getting later into the afternoon, starting to get some cloud cover. So I think we'll call it a day.
Well, and the supper bell's ringing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we don't want to be late for
I
supper.
don't want to be late for supper, but you know what, bud? I'm gonna go grab a bag because you know, for me, for instance, being from British Columbia, I don't get to see these, you know, ground squirrels very often. So I'm gonna go collect a few and bring them in, and maybe if you want to start packing up.
You bet. I'll get things cleaned up here and we'll get out of here.
Sounds good.
Right on, buddy.
Good day.
Taxidermy services provided by Hunters Union and Ray Weens Taxidermy. And thanks to these other fine sponsors.
Well, Kent, all I got to say is that you've talked to me a lot about doing these gopher shoots, and that was my first experience yesterday at a prairie gopher shoot, and wow, that was absolutely incredible fun.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's good days and bad days. We've got some really good weather right now, so we're going to take it up on the opportunity to get back out here in the sunshine, see if we can't thin out some of these gophers. So, I mean, I can see them. They're right close to the shooting bench. We just got set up in a new pasture. Another farm that I like to help out, so I think we should get loaded up and start off day 2.
Okay.
We got lots of ammo, so it's going to be a good day. Nice shooting, buddy.
Thank you.
And we start day 2. Oh, stop.
I would say that's lights out. Nice shot, bud. That was one heck of a shoot, Cat.
It sure was. And I mean, those Richardson ground squirrels are so much fun to hunt, and it's not the only species here in Canada.
No, it isn't. As a matter of fact, there's a large variety of ground squirrels, and you know what, Kent? That sounds like a great topic for Lethbridge College's Conservation Connection.
So for those of us who have spent any time in the prairies, we're probably familiar with ground squirrels. Maybe what we don't know is that there's actually 6 different ground squirrel species that we can expect to find in Canada.
Although we're highlighting the ground squirrel species found here in Canada, they come from a very massive worldwide family. They have 62 different species throughout the entire planet, and they're found on every continent except for Antarctica and Australia.
Okay, we call them ground squirrels based on their behavior, obviously living in the ground, hibernating in the ground. Most of them are diurnal, so they'll be coming out during the day. The 6 different ground squirrel species used to be considered to be in one genus. They are in the same family, but since for a while now they've been separated into 4 different genera.
Believe it or not, the longevity of some ground squirrel species is up to 18 years old, but what's really interesting is they're omnivorous. A lot of people see them running around in pastures thinking they're just plant eaters, but believe it or not, they actually pursue proteins, including small mammals.
So I have some representatives here today. The species I don't have are the Arctic ground squirrels that live in very high latitudes here across Canada, so even across the Arctic Circle. Okay, and also the Richardson's ground squirrel, which probably has the most ubiquitous distribution in the prairies. Most of us probably have seen Richardson's ground squirrels before.
Although we have an overlap of 3 different species of ground squirrels here in Manitoba, the main colonies of squirrels we're hunting right now are the Richardson's ground squirrel.
Here we have a species that lives kind of in higher elevations, so kind of the montane areas. You find them in prairie habitats in the mountains. So this is the Columbian ground squirrel, a little bit larger than the Richardson's and has this kind of nice yellowish color on it. Very appealing ground squirrel here. This is the golden mantled ground squirrel, which some people might confuse with a chipmunk. Okay, chipmunks, however, will have stripes also on their head, and these do not. They also have a much smaller tail. So these are found in your higher elevations in the mountainous regions. Okay, and here we have a Franklin's ground squirrel. Kind of looks similar to the Richardson's, but it's a little grayer in color, some cases a little larger as well. And you find these all throughout southern Manitoba, but stretching towards kind of the central portions only of Saskatchewan and Alberta. And this one here is a really unique one, right? So this is the 13-line ground squirrel, as evidenced by all the lines on the back. This one is also sometimes confused with chipmunks, okay? But you notice that the stripes kind of stop right there at the head, right? So this one here is a little different than the other ground squirrels. It's not really as colonial, right? So you're not going to find large populations in one area. They're more spread widely. And this has an extremely large distribution across the Great Plains in North America.
He's right there. He's broadside to you.
Yeah, I got him.
Yep, you're right. You got him. You definitely got him.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
I'd say you got him.
This segment is brought to you by King's Camo. See the difference. Now, back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
How you do it?
There we go. Taking care of business.
I'll tell you one thing, your landowner is going to be sure happy.
Yeah. Nice shot, buddy. Nice shot.
That's a hit. That is a hit.
There we go. That takes care of it.
Yeah.
No, we did a little bit of a move here, and that is the trick with these cameras, is trying to get them lined up. I mean, on a bright sunny day like today, the glare on the viewfinders is so tough. So I see another one over by that little piece of yellow or orange fencing there. He's just to the right of it, between that and that dirt pile. He's eating grass.
Oh, his cheeks are full.
Yeah. I'll wait for him to pop up a little bit. There we go. And that's it.
He is down too. Good shooting, bud.
Thanks.
Oh, he's out in that open. There you go. That was a poke.
Yeah.
That was a long poke.
I mean, he just tipped right over. Good shot, buddy. That was awesome.
He was literally to my extreme right. I couldn't go any further because of the shooting bench, but
Yeah.
that was funny.
Well, buddy, I think we've thinned a few out right here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you're saying that we still have another whole quarter section?
Yeah, I mean, this ranch is pretty good size, and it's all pasture like this. So I think if we load up the cameras and our gear and hook our little wagon on behind the truck, and we'll just move over to another ridge. Nice shooting, buddy.
Well, there's one to the right there, bud.
Yeah,
Might as well pop him. Got one straight in front of us. That's a booner.
just to the left of that rock.
Yeah. Oh, thump. Well, Kent, I don't know about you, but that was like 2 incredibly amazing days of gopher shooting. And I have to admit, in the almost 10 years of filming Bushnell's Trigger Effect, I probably had the most fun. This one would be tied with the wallaby in New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know why we haven't done one before, because like we've said throughout the entire 2 days of hunting, it's no pressure.
Yeah.
We're here in shorts, we're eating peanuts, we're having a good time, we're talking, there's no problem with the wind or anything like that. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We're gonna have to do this again next year.
Yes,
I know the ranchers want us to do it. I mean, we've got so much permission for so many areas, and we've only been able to scratch the surface on some of these ranches, and so but it's been a lot of fun. Dean, thank you so much for coming out and doing this with me. It's been a real good time.
That's right. And with that, folks, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Even though we didn't have outfitters, we'd like to thank the landowners and all the outfitters, because without them, we couldn't do Bushnell's Trigger Effect. So make sure you join us next week for another exciting episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.